Hey, hey, hey. I've been fishing charters for 5 days in a row, so I hadn't really. Well, I tied flies a little bit earlier today, but let's see. What do I want to do? I'm gonna do some shrimp patterns. Just trying to think what I want to do. All right, there we go. Oh, my thread's wrapped. I was wondering why I wouldn't. It's still wrapped. What in the world? Sorry, y'all. I'm having old man difficulties. My thread was wrapped right here. There we go. All right. Now, I think I can tie now. What is up with my thread? All right. Well, this thread don't feel right for some reason. It feels like it's gonna break on me, and I'm just starting. I don't know. It just feels weird. All right. I think I'm gonna do some what you call it? I hadn't done in a while. I think I'm gonna do a couple of just because I want some more of them. My Fraggle Rock. I haven't done any in a while, and I've been using the heck out of them. Hey Jacob, hey Charles. I did not fish today. I fished the past 5 days. I've done both spinning rod and fly fishing, but today I didn't fish. I got to fish. Hey Brittany, I got to fish the next 2 days, so I fish again tomorrow and Tuesday, and then I think I'm off for a day, and then I start right back up. All right, y'all. So I got 3 all Uncle Hook right here, and just I put some black. Y'all might not be able to see. I might can move this a little bit closer, but and a little bit of black thread right there for. And I'm gonna throw a medium size orange eye on there. But no, I didn't fish today. A few months ago, I didn't fish a rod, and I caught 15 feet. Sweet Jacob. Man, I tell you, I'm a fishing guide, and I don't even get new rods all the time. When people break them a lot, I have clients that break rods, and I usually buy them then. But being a fishing guide, I basically buy the basics. I don't buy stuff all the time. I basically just buy what I need. Just the basic stuff. I'm just making sure the eyes are lined up on there, y'all. And all I'm doing, I'm taking the thread and going under the hook and then over the eye in one direction, and then I'm going the opposite direction. So one direction like that, and then the opposite direction. Just making little cross wraps on there. Oh, thank you, Time. Yeah, I got the same people for the next 2 days, and they I've talked to them on the phone a bunch of times. They seem pretty cool. I've been fly fishing from the 13th. It's 5 days. Gotcha. Gotcha. All right, y'all. Let's throw some wraps around these eyes, and we're gonna make a Fraggle rock. We're gonna make a Fraggle rock fly, y'all. All right, let's throw some glue on there. Do I fish in the abandoned rock quarries? No. So I'm in Louisiana. I'm a saltwater fishing guide, inshore. So like redfish, speckled trout, black drum, all the inshore stuff like that. But I do bass fish. I know those rock quarries get full of big bass. Do I see alligators all the time this time of year? So during the wintertime, they kind of dig themselves. They bury themselves up in mud and kind of hide when it's cold. But this time of year, yeah, Fraggle Rock, that's it. But this time of year, yeah, see alligators almost every day. Oh, did I accidentally put some glue over the eye? I did accidentally put some glue over the eye. I just saw it just then. Not a big deal. Just pop it out there with the scissors. All right, let's grab some deer tail. I've had 4 alligators in my boat over the years. You want to subscribe and watch some of? Awesome, man. Thank you, Jacob. Yeah, I've got almost 600 videos on my channel. Most of them are actually fishing. They're not all me tying flies. I tie flies all the time, so I figured I might as well go live and have some company, I guess, and talk to people while I do it. All right. Yep. That's hilarious. Aye, aye, Captain. That's pretty funny. All right. So I'm just taking some deer hair right here, y'all. And we're going to throw this right here on the back. This is going to be the tail. I might have pulled off a little too much, but I think it'll be fine. This is going to be the tail on our fly. All right. There we go. Hey, baby Stitch. All right, we're gonna take a black Sharpie, everybody. And y'all want a good workout? Just pull tops off of Sharpies. I mean, that's all you gotta do. All right, we're gonna throw some black stripes on here. That's probably enough right there. All right, throw some black stripes on there. All right, we're gonna grab some eyes if I can find them. Right here. I'm gonna grab some shrimp eyes, y'all. And we're gonna put some shrimp eyes on there. Let me find. I got a bunch of them. I'm just finding the color I want. I'll tell you what. I'll just grab this green right here. Sorry, y'all. I got a bunch of them. I don't see the exact color I normally use, but it don't really matter. I mean, the fish aren't really going to see those little bitty eyes anyway. I'll show you what I'm using. So these are called Easy Shrimp Eyes, and this is what they look like right here. And all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna flip this fly over, and I'm gonna take these eyes, and basically I'm gonna split the hook with the eyes like that. Do I do? No, I don't. All the saltwater, I mean, pretty much all the fly fishing I do is saltwater. The freshwater fishing I do is normally bass. You know, I mean, I do all freshwater fishing, but I grew up bass fishing. You know, and so I've fished a ton of tournaments in my life, and but nowadays I just guide. All right, so see how we threw those eyes on there, y'all? I guess it's kind of hard to tell with my vise in the way. And now we're going to take some glue and put over that right there. Yes, they're the easy shrimp eyes. And after I put mine on, I always take some glue and put over. I'm getting low on my glue right here. I always take the Solar Res glue and put over it, just because I don't want them spinning all over the place, you know. Yeah. And then, you know, your UV light, dry that up real quick. Real quick and easy. All right. I'm gonna grab some pink. It should be right here in front of me somewhere. Sorry, y'all. I'm looking for an ingredient. I found one of my ingredients. Let me find another one. Earlier today, I tied flies, and someone laughed when I said ingredient, but I mean, I guess it is an ingredient, you know what I mean? Hold on, y'all. I know what ingredient I'm looking for, I just can't find it. Oh, it was in the wrong drawer, y'all. I'm sorry about that. Do I specialize in saltwater? Oh, jigs, flies. Yeah, I just tie what I use. What making? Yeah, making. I'm tying redfish flies, y'all. Just tying some redfish flies. What's up, Brad? Never thought of doing that. Yeah, man. Hey, Kobe. All right, y'all. I'm gonna grab some pink, shiny right here. I'm gonna put a little bit of pink on the tail of this thing. It might even be hard to see on camera, y'all, but I'm gonna grab a few strands of this pink right here, like that. Just cut that off. I'm tying my Fraggle rock fly, y'all. And what you do, you take this, I guess y'all can see the thread, and you wrap this around the thread. Hold it up like this right here, y'all. And if it's your first time watching, y'all, please subscribe. Please subscribe. So I've got it just around the thread like that. And now I'm just going to do a couple of wraps to kind of hold it in place. And then I'm going to pull this stuff down, pull this shiny down, basically parallel with the tail right there. And give it a few wraps, y'all. Just like that. Just added a little bit of, just a little shine to the tail. Thank you, Kobe, thank you. Now I'm gonna grab a pink feather, saddle hackle. I don't know why it's called saddle hackle. This didn't come from a saddle. I'm pretty sure it came from, I don't know, a chicken or something. I don't know where it came from. Wherever you get pink feathers from. No, I'm just kidding. They color them, y'all. They color them whatever color. All right, so I'm gonna take a. All right, thank you, Kobe. I'll see you later, man. All right, so I always take and cut this thick part of the feather off right here because it don't really wrap that good. It's not an Andre 3000. Y'all get that joke at all? All right, and we're gonna set this right here on top of the fly. If I can ever get my fingers to work right. We're going to set this right here on top of the fly and wrap it up. Like that. Now I'm going to grab my tweezers. Sorry, I'm reading the chat, y'all. Hey, do your lures are just... Yeah, I sell them. If you... On my YouTube channel, under the description, there should be my store. It goes to my website. I sell my flies on my website. Do I have a business time? I mean, I sell them, but, you know, I sell them on my website, but it's not what I do full time. Oh, I'm doing it good. I'm doing it good today, show. Just tying some flies. I've had fishing charters like the past 5 days. So, you know how it is. I get home, man, I'm tired, so haven't really been tying. It's not like I need to tie. I probably got a couple of hundred flies. But I do it because it's fun, you know. We were using this fly right here yesterday on a charter. All right. There it goes. Rooster feathers. Yeah, rooster. Oh, OTB. If you I think it's under flies at the top menu. I made my website myself, so, but it should be under flies on the top menu. All right. What fish we're gonna catch? So I use these for redfish, but I mean we catch everything on them. You know, we catch black drum, jack crevalle, redfish, sheep's head. We catch everything on these. A lot more people are tying now more than I've ever seen. Inspiring me to go back in tying again. Been over 20 years since I've tied. Well, you know how it is, show. It's addicting. Before I started tying, everybody said if you started tying, it's addicting, and it is. You know how it is. All right, y'all. Now we're gonna grab some crack wrap. I'm gonna grab some crack wrap right here, and we're gonna put some crack wrap around the front of this fly, and we'll be almost done. I'm gonna tie a few of these though, y'all. So if you didn't see it from the beginning, I'm gonna tie a few of them. Sorry, I know that string's probably bouncing all over. All right. Yes, time flies. I do it. Sometimes I'll get on a kick where I'm doing it every day, you know. All right. We're just gonna, what we're doing, this is called crack wrap. We're gonna lay this on top of the hook right here. Get a few wraps to hold it on. And then I'm just gonna just lay the bobbin kind of over the front to get it out of the way. Lay my thread over get it out of the way. And I'm gonna take my little clamp tweezer thingies, clamp that on there. The next 2 days, though, I've got spinning rod charters. Although one of the guys really wants to go fly fishing, so if the water turns out it's pretty clean water and all, we might try to come in kind of early and then go back out and do some fly. Just wrapping this right here around. Whoops. Whoops. Now I'm just going to cut the tag end off right here. Like that. And get some wraps on it. This fly looks really good in the water, y'all. The first time I used this fly after I designed it, the first time I used it, the first redfish I caught on it was 40.5 inches long. I am south of New Orleans, so I got it out of the Port Sulphur area is where I got it out of. People come from all over the world to come down here and catch redfish. We got giant redfish down here. All right, we're just going to tie this off right here, y'all. Thank y'all for watching, everybody that's watching. If y'all are new to the channel, if y'all hit subscribe, that'll help me a lot. Once I hit 5,000, I've got a brand new Fair Play 9-10 weight fly rod still in the box. I'm giving away once I hit 5,000, and then when I hit another 5,000, when I hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm gonna do the same. I'm giving another one away. I mean, I'm not Mr. B, so I don't have millions of dollars to give away. So, all right. Southern California, man, I've got a lot of clients. I got a lot of regular clients from California. The guys I had the other day were from California. I've got a lot of regular clients from California. All I'm doing, y'all, I'm taking some Solarez glue, and we're just putting glue over those knots we just tied. That's all we're doing right there. Yeah, I've got some clients that come every year, at least once a year, but most of the time they come twice a year. They come every year in December, and then sometimes they'll come September and December. I'm just drying this glue up real quick, y'all. It dries within about 6 or 7 seconds. Alright. My little Fraggle rock fly, y'all. Y'all, you can probably see why I call it the Fraggle rock. But it's just a 3/0 Umpqua hook. This is a medium-sized orange eyeball, lead eyes on it. Sorry. I've got deer tail on here that I threw some stripes on. I've got a little bit of pink shine right here on it. And then I threw some, it don't really matter what color eyes on there, but I got chartreuse on there because I usually put red on there, but I'm out, but that's cool. And threw a pink saddle hackle on there, and then like some kind of like a peach colored crack wrap right there. So quick, easy little redfish fly. Of course, all this kind of flows backwards when it's in the water. But like I said, really good looking fly in the water. We were using it the other day. Yes, sir. That's what I do now. I've done a lot of stuff in my life besides fishing, but yeah, I love guiding. I love guiding. I've known some people that get burnt out or whatever, but I love it. Just flavored water, y'all. Water with a little bit of grape in it. All right, let's make another one the same thing, y'all. Just because I want to get it. So what I did, I use these Nomad boxes as my fly boxes, and I've got 2 of these, this size right here, that are completely full. I got 2 of them that are slam full of flies, but I bought another one the other day, so I gotta start filling it up. So there's a few I've done on live stream, but gotta start filling it up, y'all. Yeah, I do some smaller flies sometimes. In fact, springtime, some of my buddies use smaller flies this time of year. But a lot of times I'm chasing those really big redfish, man. So I kind of chase those bull red. We call them bull reds. I chase those bull reds all year long, and they'll eat that big old fly. All right, AJD. All right, y'all. So I got a 3/0 Umpqua hook on there. I'm just gonna put a little bit of thread right below the eye, real quick. Thank y'all, everybody, for watching. I know y'all can be doing anything else at all, but thank y'all for watching. All right. Again, I'm going to grab a medium-sized orange eye and throw in there. I just think the orange on this fly kind of helps set it off a little bit, So, just going to set this on top of the hook, and I usually just do a couple of wraps in one direction. It's just kind of sitting there right now, but now I'm going to do some wraps in the opposite direction, because you want the eyes to be 90 degrees, with the hook as much as possible, and I always kind of line it up. It don't have to be perfect, but I just line it up as close as I can. Let's see. The bone average about 3 to 7 pounds. So the guy I had yesterday, Just got back from the Bahamas bone fishing. I mean, he says he was down there for 3 days, but he's retired, so I guess he gets to do whatever he wants to do, man. But he just got back from the Bahamas bone fishing. Where do I go fishing most often? Down here in the Port Sulphur area of Louisiana. So from downtown, like from the French Quarter, you can be at the marina that I usually base out of. You can be there in about 30 minutes from downtown, from the French Quarter. So that's where I base out of. So if you look at a map or Google Earth or whatever and look up Port Sulphur, Louisiana, you'll see all that marsh out there, and that's what I fish. That's what I fish. Caught a rib, but I got plenty of clients that say I need. Man, Mr. Charles, you ever catch a redfish? Check out some of my videos, Mr. Charles, and look at those giants we catch. You ever catch a red? All redfish fight hard, but you ever catch some of those that weigh 20 plus pounds? Man, it'll spoil you. Hey, Florida, just tying some flies tonight. I I won't stay up all night, which it's still early right now, but just tying some flies for a while. And I got to fish the next 2 days. And I've been fishing almost every day, y'all. I've been fishing the past 5 days. That's the reason I haven't been tying that much. All right, so now you want to take a deer tail, and we're going to take the entire deer tail. This is going to be a bigger fly, and we're going to put it on there like that. I'm just kidding, y'all. We're not going to do that. We're going to take just some white right here on this deer tail, just a little bit of it. So I'm going to take a chunk of white right here and cut a chunk of white off, everybody. And then I just kind of pull any little loose strands that might be right there, pull those off. We're going to set this. We're going to set this right here on the top of our hook and just kind of, and I usually sometimes I'll get a few loose wraps on it to make sure it's sitting where I want it to sit before I go back and tighten all those wraps up. I just want it to be sitting at the right spot. All right, that looks pretty good. And now we can go and tighten all these up. Like that. Okay. I was night fishing with my headlamp, wading in the water around midnight, and casting my spook into the dark and caught a nice red. Yeah, man. I use Zara spooks also, and man, I take these big like 6 and 7 inch. Yeah, Sug. If you look at under the description of the video on my YouTube channel, you'll see my YouTube store. That goes to my website. You can buy flies. You can book a trip. I got tons of pictures on there. It shows my boats on there and all that stuff. But man, I use those Zara spooks. But what I do for the redfish, just because I don't want to hurt them, I take the treble hooks off of them, and I just put like just a big single hook on there. I just don't want to hurt the fish. And I do the same thing. I take big old like 6 and 7 inch tuna poppers you actually use for tuna. Take the hooks off those and put big single hooks on there. And I throw those big tuna poppers for those big bull reds. I just don't want to hurt them. I don't want to hurt the fish with the treble hooks. So I just put big single hooks on there. All right, y'all, we're going to take a Sharpie and put some black stripes on here, y'all. Like that. Let's see. Caught plenty of mahi, marlin. There you go, tuna on the fly. That's some good. Oh yeah, that's right, Mr. Charles. Let's see. That's right. That's right, Florida. That's a buka. Man, Mr. Charles, come down here. My favorite month, my favorite single month of the year is September. It's still kind of hot during September, but that's right in the middle of the spawn. So redfish spawn in the fall. They start spawning in August, and they'll spawn through October. So September is right in the middle of the spawn, and it is ridiculous. It's crazy. The most we've had in one day, as far as those big 20-pounders, we had 32 in one day that were between 37 and 42 inches long. We had 32 of them in one day. Let's see, what fly rod reel works for marlin? You would want probably at least a 12 weight. I mean, you're going to want the biggest thing you can get for a marlin. Don't they make 14 weights? I think they do, don't they? You want something big for a marlin. So what they do for the marlin, they throw teasers. They'll have they'll throw like a teaser lure, behind the boat. Yeah, so they throw like a teaser lure behind the boat. I've never fished for them. I just seen how they do it. They'll throw these big teaser lures behind the boat, and once the marlin gets close enough, they'll cast a big fly to it. All right, y'all, we're going to take, these are called easy shrimp eyes. I'm going to take these and just put them on the fly. I'm going to split the hook or split the eyes with the fly. So I just lay those right here on top of the hook. And then get some wraps on it, y'all. Just like that. All right. Right. They basically, for the marlin, they kind of troll for them, and then when they get close enough, they'll pull that teaser lure up and sling a fly out there for them. I've never done it. I've seen how they do it, but I've never done it. So I'm not a pro with that. I've never actually done it. I've just seen how they do it. All right, y'all. I threw some glue on there, and now we're just gonna hit that glue with this light. Okay. Well, there you go, Mr. Charles. September. If you go on my website, Mr. Charles, the link to my website is on my YouTube page. If you go on my website, you'll see my calendar on there, and yeah, you can contact me on there, and you can book a trip with me. So, y'all, I'm gonna take some shiny right here. I always tell people, though, if you're gonna come down here, book more than one day. And the reason why, in case you get a bad day of weather, y'all, don't come all the way to Louisiana and get down here and the weather be bad. So always try to book at least 2 days. That's what most people do. Now you might can get away with spinning rod fit. Like if you're gonna do regular conventional gear, you might can get away with booking 1 day for spinning rod. But if you're gonna fly fish, I would book at least 2 days, y'all. You don't want to come all the way down here and you have some super high winds or thunderstorms or something like that, and you're only down here for 1 day. You don't want to do that. All right, we're gonna grab a saddle hackle right here. I actually use 10 weight mostly for the redfish down here. I've got 8, 9s and 10s, but I use mostly my 10 weight. Um, for two reasons. The main reason is catching those big 20 pounders. I want something with a little backbone, and the second reason, that 10 weight just handles that wind a little bit better. All right, y'all, we're gonna take the thick part of this feather and cut it off. Am I somewhere in the Southwest Florida? Is that what I'm saying? No, I'm in Louisiana. Um, Jimmy, I am in Louisiana. I'm a fishing guy down here for redfish. I do inshore. I do red snapper also, but I only do that when season's in. But yeah, redfish, speckled trout, black drum, sheep's head, all the normal inshore stuff. Would center pin fishing compare to a 12? Let's see. Yeah, Jimmy. So yeah, man, I'm in I fish. I got out of the Port Sulphur area, man. I got Port Sulphur. And I don't just do fly fishing. I do in fact, the next 2 days I've got spinning rod trips. I got regular it's gripping, GRIPPI. It's the same thing as my YouTube channel. It's Gripping Lips Fishing is my charter. I got a website, it's grippinglipsfishing.com, but if you look at this channel right here, I got almost 600 fishing videos on there. But yeah, I do spinning rod and fly fishing. The next 2 days I've got spin rod. All right, y'all. I'm gonna take some crack wrap. This is called crack wrap right here. Started inshore fishing the fly here in Southwest Florida. Hey, Leo, it's fun, ain't it? I mean, you ever catch one redfish or something, anything big, but catch a redfish on a fly rod, and that's all you're gonna want to do after that. You ever deep sea bass with electric bait cast? I don't. I've got friends that do offshore with all that stuff. Um, I don't have my. I've got a fly fishing boat and I've got a 25-foot bay boat. I don't have anything. I don't have a boat big enough to do all that. Sorry, y'all. We're just taking this crack wrap and we're gonna wrap it up right here. Let's see. What fly is this? Is this meant to mimic? This is meant to mimic Fraggle Rock. I mean, it's an old TV show from the 80s, but did you ever see Fraggle Rock back in the day? I call this fly the Fraggle Rock. So, I don't know what it looks like, but the redfish will eat it up, man. After I came up with this fly and I took it fishing, the first redfish I caught on this was 40 and a half inches long. So it works pretty good. Like a fluffy shrimp. Yep, a shrimp with a bad hair day. A shrimp with a bad hair day, man. This fly looks like me when I wake up in the morning. We're just tying off the thread right here. All right. Let's see, Mr. Charles. What weight rod and reel do I recommend for the reds? Minimum 8 weight. Most people use 8, 9s, and 10s. I've got all three. My favorite is a 10 weight. Mostly just because of the size of the fish and the wind. But I mean, it's not always windy. I just love that 10 weight, for those big 20 pounders. But my biggest redfish was on an 8 weight, and he was 44 inches long. So he was a big boy or a big girl. And actually caught that fish in a little bit dirty water that day. You know what those flies remind me of? The old flies from the early 1900s, late 1800s when you would. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, show. You can. Yeah, man, time. All right, let's throw some UV light on here. Yeah, I don't have them patented or anything. Just uh-oh. I glued my eye right there again. Not a big deal. Yeah, Mr. Charles. I use all three. I just find myself using that 10 weight more. But whenever I go fishing, I've got usually my 8 weight and my 10 weight laying on the deck with 2 different flies on there, and then I just pick up whichever one. All right, y'all. Here's another Fraggle Rock. So 3/0 Umpqua deer tail. I'm sorry, 3/0 Umpqua fly hook. White deer tail. I threw some black stripes on there. I threw some of this pink shine right here. A little bit of pink shine right here on the back. I threw some easy shrimp eyes on there. A piece of pink saddle hackle feather, and then threw some crack wrap right here at the front of it. All right. All right, let's tie something else, y'all. Give me 2 seconds to put this saddle hackle and stuff up. I just don't want all this extra stuff laying around. Thank you, Florida. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to bring back a lot of flies from a long, long time ago. Yeah, I don't know what all that is, just because, I'm not a historian about it, but I know a lot of people, I've seen some of those older flies. A lot of people use like a lot of yellows and stuff, like greens and yellows. I have seen that. All right, let's try something else, y'all. Um, let's go with we're gonna go with one of my favorite color flies. All us guides down here use them a lot. Let's do something with some black and purple in it. Can you make light blue and white one? Let's see. I made one like that the other day. Let's go. I'm gonna go with the purple and black. Um, but it's gonna look. It'll look cool. Let's see. Yeah, let's go with the purple and black, y'all. We'll throw some legs and stuff on it and make it look cool, everybody. These hooks I use, it might be backwards on camera for y'all, but they're Umpqua hooks or saltwater 3/0. I like the bend in these hooks. I like the bend in those hooks, and they're super strong. They're saltwater hooks, and I think they call it their competition series or something. If y'all want to find them, look for them. All right, y'all. Let's do some black and purple. Do I ever use any of the Peterson's spawning shrimp? Man, I don't guess I've ever even heard of that. I don't guess I've heard of that. I use, and as far as artificial, besides fly fishing, because I do both. I do regular fishing and fly fishing. I use a lot of matrix shad, which is like a bait fish. It's a plastic, but I use a lot of matrix shad stuff. Um, Marker 54 is a shrimp. Marker 54 makes a plastic shrimp that looks just like a shrimp. Catch a lot of fish on that also. All right, y'all. I'm gonna grab a purple deer tail right here. Y'all, I don't know if y'all can tell with the light, but I'm gonna grab a purple deer tail. Actually, I was getting ahead of myself, y'all. We gotta put the lead eyes on there. I'm sitting there talking and not thinking about what I'm doing. Sorry about that. Let's put some lead eyes on here first, y'all. That's my fault, sitting there talking. All right, I got some lead eyes right here. Yeah, voodoo shrimp. Voodoo shrimp works really good. Oh, thank you, Florida. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Man, if you're in Florida, man, you need to try to get some redfish on the fly rod. It's a lot of fun. All right, we're gonna grab a purple eye and just get it started right here. Again, what I'm doing when I'm doing this right here, y'all, I'm just kind of making sure that it's on there straight before I start wrapping it up. And what I'm doing is I'm going under the hook and over the eye in one direction, and then under the hook and over the eye in the other direction. And I love talking about fishing too, y'all. So let's see. Louisiana during July to summer. Well, there you go, man. July, the fishing is really good. It's super hot outside, so most of my charters in July, what I do in July is I try to be, I try to do, if I do one charter per day, I usually try to be done around, I try to get started early and be done a little after lunch. But a lot of times during the summer, we'll run 2 charters a day. So we'll go early in the morning and be back by around lunch or a little after, and then we do another charter in the afternoon, just to avoid that midday heat. You got as many flies as I go. Dude, that's hilarious, Jason. You say that, man. What is up with every Jeep you see riding down the road got freaking 60 ducks across the windshield, man? That is hilarious. That is true about the ducks. I've got one duck in my truck, and it's. I mean, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I don't really care either. I got one duck in my truck, and it's a Donald Trump duck. That's the only duck I got in there, man. It's Donald Trump. All right. Let's see. I'll see if I can book a charter. I'm going to be around. Oh yeah. So if you're in Baton Rouge, you're going to be about an hour. And from the marina, you're going to be about from the marina. You're going to be about an hour and a half from the marina, I guess, depending on where you are in Baton Rouge. All right, y'all. Now, yep, that's it, Jason. You'll see a Jeep going down the road. They trying to do this right here, like this right here, and look over all the ducks they got in the windshield. All right, we're gonna grab a purple deer tail. This is straight out of California. It's the only place you can get purple deer tail like this. And we're gonna take and cut a chunk of purple deer tail off here, y'all. I gotta find a chunk worthy. Let me find a good one. That one looks pretty good right there. All right, let's cut a chunk of deer tail off of here. The duck needs to die. That's hilarious. Yeah, yeah. That's not bad, Florida. I'm like 6 hours from you. Here, there you go. How long does a tail last me? A fly? Somebody asked me that earlier today. Y'all, I've got some flies I've had for years. They might start looking rough after a while, but most of your flies will last you. You know. All right, y'all. So we got some purple right here. And we're gonna put that on top of the hook. Hold on. We're gonna put that on top of the hook and get some wraps in it. Everybody that's watching, thank y'all very much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Y'all could be doing anything else, but y'all watching. So that's cool. Dang it, what is up with this? This purple deer tail keeps wanting to lean to the left for some reason. Y'all get that joke? Anyway. Golly, come on, deer tail. See what I mean? All right. Let's see. Do I have any tips for beginner saltwater fishermen? Have any tips for beginner saltwater fishermen? Oh man, that's a broad question. There's so many species. I mean, I guess it would be. I specialize in inshore stuff, so I guess it would be what kind of what kind of saltwater fishing. Let's see. Here's You've never had a bait break off, then that's very rare, man. For bait, man, if you're gonna go bait, a shrimp. I mean, a shrimp. Everything eats shrimp, man, in salt water. Everything eats shrimp. All right, y'all. I threw a purple deer tail in there. I threw a couple black stripes on it. You probably just can't see it with the light the way it is. Now we're gonna throw some shiny on there. If I can find it. I'm like always struggling to find my ingredients, y'all. All right, there's some purple. I got a brand new thing of gold right here in front of me if I can find it. There it is. All right. All right, sorry y'all. I was grabbing some shiny. Let's see, Mr. Charles. There you go, Mr. Charles. What rubber? So I use matrix shad for a lot of my plastics, which they're made here in Louisiana. If you go to matrixshad.com, you'll see them. I use a lot of matrix shad for my plastics. All right, y'all, we're gonna grab some shiny purple right here, and I'm gonna grab a few strands of it. Cut a few strands of this purple off. Okay. I love how it's a whole community. Like, I'm sitting here, time flies, but we got a whole community of people sitting here talking about fishing and stuff. That's pretty cool. Just throwing some purple right there, y'all. And now I'm gonna throw some gold on there. What leader do I use? I use mostly fluorocarbon leader, and I use Daiwa makes a leader called Fluor. It's made by Daiwa, but it's called Fluor leader. I use mostly 30 and 40 pound, and then also I use Seguar. Seguar. However you pronounce it. I use Seguar also. All right, y'all. I'm gonna grab some gold now. A few strands of gold. And we're gonna put some gold shiny on there also, y'all. So I just put some purple, and now we're gonna put some gold on there. So we threw some purple in there, now we're gonna throw some gold on here. So we got that purple tail, but we threw a little bit of gold and a little bit of purple shiny on there, y'all. Now we're gonna get jiggy with it, and we're gonna throw some legs on there. All right, let's see. Fish again, have it. Yep, that's right. We're just doing LSU colors right here, baby. All right, now this right here, for all you bass fishermen, it's basically the same thing as spinnerbait material, or spinnerbait skirts. But I'm gonna use it to put some legs on here. I'm gonna break off about 3 of them, So I got about 3 legs right there. But what I want the chartreuse to be facing out on the fly. So I'm going to take it and double it over like that. And then I'm going to lay it right here on top of the fly. Get some wraps on it. Like that. And now, whoops. Alright, you can see where I doubled it over right here. Like that. I'm just going to cut that in half. And I don't want them this long. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold all these up. And I want just the tip, giggity, of that chartreuse showing right there. So I'm just going to cut just the tip right there. So I got the purple with just the tip of the chartreuse right there. So basically we just threw some legs on there. What's my favorite team? Man, people ask me that all the time. They're always like, you know, talking about football stuff. I'm on the water all the time, y'all. I don't ever get to watch anything. You know what I'm watching? I'm watching me pole the boat while people are on the front catching fish. That's what I watch usually. All right, we're gonna throw some purple right here to give it some body, and then we're gonna throw some black minnow head around the front of it right there, y'all. Let's see. Trying to think what purple I want to go with is what I'm doing. I'm thinking, y'all. Watch out. I'm thinking, not, you know, it's dangerous. Actually, we'll go with a purple feather. Just got to find where they are. Stand by, looking for a purple feather. I got them somewhere right here. Give me just a second, everybody. Found them. I know I didn't see them now. They were in the wrong packaging. Roll Tide. Must be from Bama Lama talking about Roll Tide. Let's see. Wait. Let's see. I have some already. Use things and mimic natural grace. Okay. All right, y'all. So I'm going to grab a purple saddle hackle right here. Let's see. Find one that looks cool. Here we go. That one looks cool. All right, we're gonna grab a purple feather right here, y'all. I'm gonna cut off that thick part like I always do. There you go. All right, have loads of stuff. Let's see. All right, and we're gonna do like we did on that last fly. I'm gonna lay the saddle hackle right here, the feather right here on top of it. Get some wraps. Get out of the way and then wrap it up. Thank you, Florida. Thank you. Thank you. You know, it's not gardening, but you know, I'm trying. Oh man. Oh no. My little clamp came undone. It happens all the time, y'all. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. The clamp came undone, y'all. Happens all the time. Australia. You know what? That's Australia. That's one. I haven't had that country yet here fishing. I've had people from all over the world, but I haven't had anybody from Australia. It's definitely not garden. I still can't. I know that's hilarious. All right. Yep, I haven't had anybody from Australia. I've had people from all over the world, but not Australia. All right, y'all. So we threw a purple feather on there, added some poofiness to it, a little poofiness. Now I'm gonna take and get. This is a brand new pack, actually. Is it Hairline? No, it's the fancy stuff. Enrico Puglisi or whatever. It's EP brush. This is minnow head, so it's 1.5 inches. Brand new pack. And y'all, you see how expensive fly? This is one pack of material. It's almost $15, y'all. That's hilarious. I've got one of the thumbnails on one of my videos is somebody reeling in like a 60 something model Volkswagen Bug. And that's one of the thumbnails in one of the videos. If you go through my videos, you'll find it somewhere. All right, we're just gonna take a couple of inches of this EP brush, y'all. This is minnow head brush. If you look at it, it might be hard to see. There's a wire going down through the middle of it right there. That's how it's held together. From Nebraska. I have had people from Nebraska now. I've had people from all over the country down here fishing with me. All right, y'all. Let's throw this EP brush on there. Hold on. Let me cut a little bit more of that wire off there. And all I'm doing, I'm just laying it on top of the hook. And I'm going to get some wraps to hold it in place. What is this bait pattern called? I don't know, man. Purple and black. I don't know. I've got one real similar to it on my website called the Grimace. But purple and black is just a really good, really good color down here for these fish. Alright, now I'm going to wrap it up, B. Okay, sorry, that probably went out of focus, y'all. Didn't mean for that to happen. I'm using my phone to stream on y'all because it's in the vertical resolution. Because whenever I use my computer with the big 4K camera and all that stuff, nobody watches. I guess everybody likes looking at their phone. So, let's see. Is chartering profitable after all expenses? Yes. I mean, this is what. I mean, I'm not rich or anything, but yeah, this is how I pay my bills. Um, can I make these flies easily? Yeah, so I'm sitting here talking. So when I'm talking, it takes me a little bit longer to time. If I'm just sitting here tying flies, I can knock them out pretty quick. Um, so you do have to practice making flies. But man, it's so much fun that if you ever start tying flies, you'll probably end up making, unless you just absolutely hate it for some reason, you'll probably tie a lot of them, and you'll get good at it pretty quick. Um, and I don't know about everywhere, but down here in Louisiana, if you're going to guide out of a boat, you got to have a captain. The first thing I do is get a captain's license. So you got to be, it's a real captain's license. So you have to, uh, get a Coast Guard approved captain's license. So it's a lot of, you have to take tests, and all kinds of stuff, and send a packet in to the Coast Guard, and they approve you or not approve you to be a boat captain. And then you have to have a guide license down here. Of course, you got to have insurance. Uh, I don't just go out and do it. You have to. There's a lot of stuff you have to do. Let's see. How many flies do I make a day? So if I'm sitting here live streaming like I am, this is the third one. But we've been sitting here talking and stuff. If I just get on here and if I just tie flies without sitting here talking to all y'all about fishing and stuff, it just depends. Sometimes I'll sit here and tie, 6 or 7. But I've got a ton of flies, y'all. I've got I don't know. I've got hundreds of flies, y'all. I've actually got flies. I've got so many flies that I've put a lot of them in Ziploc bags that I don't even use. So I've got a ton of flies. I just like tying them, y'all. I like tying them. Okay. So that's the one we just tied. I think it turned out pretty sweet. Let me get back here so y'all can see it better. I don't want the camera to be all out of focus, but it's a 3/0 Uncle hook. I think this is a medium-sized, if I'm not mistaken, a medium-sized lead eye. I used a purple on there. I used deer tail right here for the main part of the tail. I threw some purple and some of this stuff right here. I threw some purple and some gold shiny on the hiney. I'm about to make another one just like it, but we threw some crazy legs on there. I used a purple feather to give it a little bit of body, and then just some EP brush head right there, minnow brush head for the front. Yes, I sell them on my website, y'all. You can take a toothbrush like this right here and brush it out, but it don't. Once it gets in the water, all this stuff kind of flows backwards like that, But basically, man, drop that in front of a fish and strip it about twice and hold on tight. All right, let's make another one just like it. Let's make another one, y'all. Yes, sir. Well, thank you, Florida. Thank you. I'll probably end up recording tomorrow, recording during the charter. So I'll probably make a video out of it. Thank you, thank you. Is that Crosby? 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 I think that's an O, right? Crosby. Kind of like Ozzy. There's a YouTuber down there called Ozzy Man. I guess he's still doing YouTube, right? Ozman or Ozzy Man. I know, man. Let's see. Where do you buy all this stuff? So, someone asked me about this the other week. If I was going to get started, I do what I did. This is what I did when I started tying flies. Hold on, let me drink some water, y'all. And this ain't one of those fancy $3,000 mugs. This is like just a Walmart. um. All right. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right. If I was going to start tying flies, I would do what I did. Go on eBay, and people that are like tired of tying flies, or let's say someone passed away or something like that, their family might be selling all their fly tying material and stuff. So go on eBay and put in fly tying material lot, LOT, fly tying material lot. Put that under the search, and it's going to pull up where tons of stuff where people are selling off just a whole bunch of material at one time. I would do that to get started, um, because that way you can get into it a lot cheaper. The vise, this right here, your vise. This is your most important thing. You want a decent quality vise. Um, and there's vices out there that cost hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. You don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds. The one I use, and I'm not sponsored by them, I'm just showing you. The one I use is a Kingfisher. You can go on Amazon and get it, and I think it's just over $100, and it works great. It does everything the ones that cost $500 do. So I use a Kingfisher vise. That's what I use. All right, y'all. Let's tie another one like we just tied. It'll probably be my last one, and then I gotta get some sleep too. Yeah, because I gotta get up early. I got a fly charter. I got a fishing charter tomorrow. So this will be the last one I tie for tonight, y'all. But thank y'all for watching, everybody. All right, let's go 3 alt Uncle hook right there. Get some thread, little thread base right here, right below the eye of the hook. I know y'all probably can't see that thread with the light, but there's thread right there. All right, now let's go with my lead eye, if I can find where I set everything. Here they are right here. Hey, Landon. I was looking because I think one of my cats just threw up for some reason. Probably eating too much. All right, we're gonna take a medium-sized lead eye right here. This is purple, and we're just gonna start wrapping it on there. Yeah, I'll probably go to bed after this fly. Here in Louisiana, it's about 10:20, and I've got to fish tomorrow, y'all. So we'll do one more, and that'll be that. Oh, redfish. Redfish, Landon. I'm a fishing guide here in Louisiana, I mean, we catch everything on these flies. You know, redfish, black drum, sheep's head. We catch everything on them. But yeah, tying them for redfish. And I'm doing a black and purple fly. Black and purple is one of the #1 colors we catch them on down here. So just doing a black and purple right here. Alright, so we put the lead eye on there. Now we're going to take some glue. This glue dries with ultraviolet light. And you want to put glue over the thread of those eyes, because you don't want the eyes to start spinning all over the place, you know, spinning all around when you start catching fish on them. Don't you just hate that cats barf? I know, man. Or dogs. Dogs, the same thing. Clouds of minnow. No, so this right here, I don't know how to describe it. It's just gonna be a black and purple fly, and these redfish eat it up, man. I don't really know how to describe it. But we're gonna start with our material right here. We're gonna use a purple colored deer tail right here. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take a chunk of this purple deer tail and cut a chunk of it off. Alright, so we got some purple deer tail right here. And then you just want to kind of pull like any little loose strands off of there. Just don't do it too hard, because you're going to pull apart the whole thing, which you don't want to do. Alright. We're going to lay this right here on top of the hook and start wrapping it. And I usually do some loose wraps on there to get it started where I want it, before I start wrapping it tight. Okay. Materials, tools, and a bit of money. Got a please list of stuff just for a beginner. Yeah, so like I said, your vise is probably the most important thing. You're gonna need a little pair of scissors. So this right here, little bobbin thing, that's how you wrap the thread around your fly. And you don't absolutely need one of these, but this right here is how you tie your fly off. You can do it just with your fingers, but it just takes a lot longer. You know, and a good little pair of clamps or tweezers. It's basic tools. You can actually get little kits and stuff to do it. And like I said, man, if I was going to start off tying, I would go on eBay and find where people are selling off everything. Go on eBay and just find where people are selling all their stuff off, and you can get it a lot cheaper. All right, y'all, I'm gonna take and put some black stripes, and you might not even be able to see it on the camera, but I'm gonna put some black stripes on this purple tail right here. Like that. You might not even be able to see it on camera, but it's there. All right, we're gonna throw some purple shiny on there. So got some purple shine right here. I'm just gonna take a few strands of this. Like that. And I'm going to put this kind of under the thread right here and up over the fly. Get a couple of wraps just to kind of hold it in place. And then I'm just going to bring it down parallel with my deer tail and wrap it so it stays on there like that. And I'm going to take some gold and do the same thing. So just some gold, going to do the same thing we just did with the purple. Okay. So we're doing the same thing with the gold we just did with the purple, y'all. Just like that. All right, now we're going to take a piece of minnow head. I'm sorry. Yeah, wait. Is that what I did? No. Lose my mind. We're going to take a... Oh, I got to put the crazy legs on here, y'all. Almost forgot. So I got 3 crazy legs right here. I'm going to double these over because I want the chartreuse to be... I want to have chartreuse tips on it. So I'm going to double it over like that. And I'm going to lay it on top of the fly right here. And get some wraps on it. And then pull these up. And what I'm going to do, I want just the chartreuse tips to be showing right here, y'all. So I'm going to cut that off. So I got just the little chartreuse tip showing. Like that. All right, now we're going to take a purple feather right here. So we're going to take a purple feather. There's one right there. And I'm going to cut off this thick part right here. Sorry, y'all. Let me see. Yep, Amazon. All right. Cut off that thick part of the feather right there. Throw this right here on top of the hook. Get some wraps to hold it in place. And then we're going to wrap this feather around. All right. Just like that. Now I'm going to grab some minnow head brush. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. This came up 150 pieces, 5-time toolkit, and 5-time materials kit. There you go. I don't know if you know this, but you don't want the furry stuff. Right. Yeah. That's why I was cutting off the front part of the fly. And I'm about to put some brush right here on there. Let's see. So we're gonna grab a little bit of minnow head brush. Right here at the beginning of the fly. Okay. Okay. Let's tie this one off, and that'll be about that, y'all. Okay. Hit with a UV light. No, sir. No, sir. It's just a cheap one. You know how it is. I just use that. I'm just brushing it backwards to make it look neat and get some of the extra stuff out of it. But you know how it is. As soon as it hits the water and you start using it, it kind of all flows backwards anyway. All right. Quick, easy little redfish fly. That's about it. Very simple little fly, y'all. Little 3/0 Uncle hook. Little medium sized lead eye. Just threw some deer tail on there, black and I'm sorry, purple with some black stripes. Threw some gold and some purple shine on it. Little crazy legs with some chartreuse. Just a saddle hackle. You can't hardly see the saddle hackle. It's there, but you can And threw some EP brush on there, y'all. And that's about it. So these are the four. We tied two of these tonight, y'all, and we tied two of the Fraggle Rock tonight. My Fraggle Rock. And that's about it for the night, y'all. Y'all, I gotta clean this stuff up. I gotta get some sleep. I gotta fish tomorrow. It is like 10:40. So thank y'all for watching, everybody, and I will be back. Thank y'all for watching. Let's see. Um, but thank you, Crosby. Thank you, Landon. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you, show. If y'all subscribe and all, if you do the little notification bell thing, every time I go live or do a video, you'll see it. I got charters next 2 days. I'll probably be filming during that for my YouTube channel. And sometimes we go live on charters where we're actually live during the fishing charters. It really just depends if the people care or not. Thank you, Crosby. Thank y'all. All right, y'all. I gotta get a little bit of sleep. See these bags on these eyes? All right. Thank y'all for watching.